In today's MTPredictor video, I'd like to have another look at a VS or volume spike setup that's just unfolded on a 3-minute chart of the YM. As usual, we start with our risk disclaimer and remind you that all examples in these videos should be considered as hypothetical. No trades are actually taken, they're just shown for illustration and training purposes only. Remind you there's a risk of loss in trading and investing, or put another way, all traders know and understand, but more importantly accept that losses can and will and do unfold. It doesn't matter what trading approach you take, there always will be losing trades. In today's video, I'll be looking at, or I'll be using our new scripts for TradingView, and in this example here we'll be looking at this VS cell at the top here. If you can just about see that, there's our VS cell. For those of you who are new to MTPredictor, we don't just treat MTPredictor as a black box system where you take all of our setups, perhaps in the direction of our MTP trend color, which is blue for up, grey for in the process of making a reversal, and red for down. We don't do that because markets are random half the time. In other words, half the time the picture's not clear. So how do we decide when the picture's clear? Well, for this we go to the higher time frame chart. So if you're trading on a 3-minute chart, you'd go out to the 15-minute chart. If you're, say, trading a daily chart, you'd go out to the weekly. If you're, say, trading an hourly forex, you'd go out to perhaps the 4-hourly. Then for this, we go back in time. Or rather, in the moment here, I'm going to show you by going back in time a bit here using the training mode or bar replay in TradingView. And what you do is you go back to the previous highs and lows. So this is on the higher time frame chart. Can you see there was a pivot high there? So we're now going to place our support and resistance zones on. Now in real-time trading, these are actually on the chart in advance. So what we do is we go back, we choose that pivot high there, and you can see that's one pivot back. So what we can do is we can use our pivots back, and we can then do one pivot back and enable our decision point. And as you can see, there it is on the chart. But can you see how it's on the chart in advance? It gives you a leading indicator of potential support and resistance on your chart in advance. That's before the market even gets there. So let's just put a box around that so we can keep it there. Just going to put a little rectangle around that. You see there it is. I'm just going to encapsulate that with a rectangle. I'm just going to lock that rectangle like that so it stays as it is. I can now turn training mode off, and you see what's happened. If we turn training mode off, you can see what happened. Just going to turn the DPs off so we don't get confused by going off other pivots. But can you see how it came up to that resistance area that we had on the chart in advance and made a high? So how do we use that on the time frame we're trading? Well, if I go back to a 3-minute chart, can you see what happened on the 3-minute chart? In fact, actually what I'll do is I'll just put a title in there, so we know it's the 15-minute DP resistance. But can you see what happened? The market went up to this level, but what happened at that level? We then got a short. Right, but you see what happened is as the market came up to this level, we then got a shorter term sell signal. So can you see how the short term sell signal was at the higher time frame resistance? Our MTP trend at that time went from blue to grey to indicate you're in the process of making a reversal. So can you see how that was a good setup to take? So let's place the analysis on that. VS is an advanced trade setup, so we can go back and place the analysis on that high. I'm just going to find out what pivot high it is. By placing the pivots on, you can see that's 300, so that would be pivot high 301. When you're trading in reality, you could just use the last pivots. It'd be a lot quicker when you're actually trading this in reality, but because I'm going back here, it gives you the chance to then analyze prior setups. So that's on bar 301. So now I'm going to use the pivot number, and now I'm going to do on bar 301. That came in at the bar of the high, so reversal bar offset would be 0. So now I'm going to turn the pivot numbers off to clear the chart up, and now I'm going to put the analysis on, and you can see there was our trade setup. So it gives you a calculation of the number of contracts to trade. That's our position sizing to keep our initial risk small and under control. In here we risk less than 2% of a sample $20,000 account. So that would have taken you to a short trade. There's our target. But the good thing about this is we're looking for trades where not only are the losses kept small by the use of our position sizing, but when the profits come through, the profits are large, not just in dollars, but in risk reward units. So can you see how this was a very good trade where the profit was 8.5 times the initial risk? This is what we're looking for. We're looking for trades where the profits are large and the losses, when they come through, because there always will be losing trades, the losses are kept small. And as you can see, that was a very good trade indeed. So a good example of the VS trade setup on a shorter term chart. And actually, if we look at what's happening at the moment, I'll just take that off. If we go and have a look, there's actually a VS buy setup there, and that's also at DP support from the low. So if we place the trade analysis on from that low as well, just see what pivot number. That pivot number is going to be 302. Place the analysis on from there. You can see it currently would be in a potentially long trade going up here to the profit target up there, where the profit would be approximately 3.5 times the initial risk. So not quite as good as that previous trade. Let's go back and place analysis on that, which was a very good example as well. I'll just take those displays off there. So as you can see, that's what MTPredictor is all about. It's not about avoiding the losing trades. It's about keeping the losses small when they come through, and then having trades that are large when the profitable trades come through. And remember, we're not looking to take all these trade setups. We're only looking to take ones that make sense with the larger degree trend. So it's not a black box system where you take every trade setup that you see on the chart. First and foremost, you want to make sure it's in the direction of your higher time frame analysis, and we do that by placing our DPs on the chart. And then if the picture's clear on the higher time frame chart, we then look to take trades that come in at the shorter term chart. There might well have been a good DP buy there, but I haven't gone out and had a look at the higher time frame position at that particular point there. You wouldn't be taking these sells here because it's against our blue MTP trend anyway. So hopefully that's been a good example of how we use our MTPredictor scripts on our TradingView charts to uncover some nice trading setups. In this particular example, a VS or volume spike sell. But remember, it's not about avoiding losing trades. What we're looking to do is we're only looking to trade when the picture's clear, and we use that by a higher time frame support and resistance. Then even when the picture's clear, we will still get losing trades, but those losses are kept small by the use of position sizing, and we hope over time that we have profitable trades. But more importantly, when the profitable trades come through, they're large, but not just large in dollars, but large in risk reward units in relation to the losses that would unfold when the losing trades come through. So small losses and big profits, that's what we're trying to do with our MTPredictor scripts in TradingView.